Welcome to red. It's very red here. It's pretty much its one thing. Alright. The Boneyard? Obviously, boss is my big goal, but let's look around. The Boneyard. You alright, game? That was weird. Alright, let's come over here. I'll do it manually, it's fine. The Necropolis. Weird how my ship was like wandering around like it was lost. What is this StarCraft ass screen I'm looking at? It looks... Whoa. I guess the individual elements don't really scream StarCraft so much. It's just like something about the color palette, and then these stuff look like the crystals you mine in that game, and he looks like a StarCraft creature of some kind. So like I just had to take immediate reflex of like, you must construct additional pylons. Look at this cool drone. It's like one of those drone dogs they're always bullying at that one whatever university that is, robotics place. Roots and weeds push their way up through the ruined ground towards the sun's light. Just here in particular? I feel like they could have put that anywhere where they put on this robot. I thought the roots were going up through him, but he's still active. He's not dead. This area's full of agnates that don't seem to respond to me. Which is a surprise, because I kind of expect like every agnate to attack me, more or less. Boneyard. There's one over there. I haven't really had a chance to talk to the agnates much, besides the one in my party. These coastal succulents are suffused with an eerie light. Little remains of the outer buildings.
Looks like this place took a serious beating.
The tree is brittle and withered.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, Wanderer. Come, Jerry.
Ah, Jerry.
Yeah, hi Jerry. I'm Mark.
Oh, how we have longed to meet a traveler. We get bored out here, alone. No ascendancy, just each other. Jeff has been walking in circles for 5 years now. His pathfinding routine is not working. Or perhaps he's on some sort of predefined passing behavior to avoid using pathfinding. He claims it keeps him busy and out of trouble. Personally, I think he's lost the plot. Jeff, can you please stop for 5 minutes? We have company.
He's been walking in circles for 5 years. Alright. That explains the passiveness. These agnates are isolated. They're kind of just existing here, and that's it. They're not a part of a larger network, they're not being commanded by anyone, they're just existing. They're on their way towards discovering self-awareness and so on, or maybe they already have it.
You don't seem like the other agnates we've met.
We're not connected to the Dallas Exchange. We haven't communicated with Ascendancy for a century. We were part of an advanced scouting party for the assault on this region. We didn't receive the schedule update because Jeff was in defrag mode. After arriving in Chiron, we noticed the place was very quiet. Apparently, several nukes had already been deployed to take care of the human problem. Unfortunately, the warden was shut behind us. So, here we are, abandoned.
How did you survive without your connection to the Ascendancy?
Well, see, here's the thing. After a month of idling and keeping as still as possible while awaiting a rescue party, it dawned on us, why do we even need to be connected? The 140 kilobytes of memory we use to gather intel could serve as local storage. No more purging memory. We could even choose and remember our names.
You went with Jerry?
I like the name Jerry. Makes me feel like a real person. Names can mean a lot when you've never had one. But enough about us. What brings you here?
Oh, I like Jerry. He's fun. They have 140 kilobytes of storage? That's not a ton. But hey, they can remember their names. That's fun.
I've re-enabled the Warden. You can leave if you want to.
Amazing news! You go out and explore the world. Is there anything we can help you with before we leave?
Do you know anything about the Penrose Array?
You're in luck. It just so happens that I was stationed at Array Site Alpha. We guarded the control arm at that base. Apparently it activates something, I don't recall. I suggested at the time that we blow it up, but that sort of proposal is frowned upon in the military.
How would I get in there?
You cannot, unless you are a 3-meter-tall robotic soldier. Although, you might be able to interface with a defragging agnate. Here, take my core cartridge. I'm done with the military. I'd like to pursue a simpler pursuit, like singing. You would need to be very close to interface, literally at the base itself. Goodbye, friend, and good luck. One more lap, Jeff, and then we are leaving.
I just made these guys' day. He wants to go be a singer. Yay. Whenever Jeff finishes. What a reveal. This cartridge implies that it incorporates CPU and controls instructions of an agnate. I have no idea what some of these things are going to be for. Aren't I done with? I think I'm done with this. I guess these are also just upgrades, technically. So get the 3 components, then probably go back to the Penrose, which require us to interface with an agnate in defrag mode, which they have terrible storage space. So they seem to constantly need defragging. They keep like ejecting from conversations because they need to process things. The wall is broken only by a small gateway. The fountain is crusted with rust and dust. Each of these creatures' ribs is longer than a full-grown man. The twisted remains of a monstrous crustacean litter the boneyard. Someone just screaming with the sheep?
Listen to them singing.
The stonework has started to wear away after many years of neglect. I'm surprised to find humans here. These guys were sent here to exterminate humans, but I guess these guys must have arrived after those guys gave up on exterminating humans, I guess? This gargantuan skull might have belonged to a deep-sea creature or reptile. A flipping big monster, whatever it was. You guys inspired Jerry to become a singer instead of a soldier. Isn't that nice? The windmill's blades turn steadily in the hot breeze. The graves stand open, revealing rough, yellowed bones. Are they digging up the people? Why? That's generally seen as rude. Marrow farmers sift through piles of brittle old bones, searching for those still rich in marrow at the core. They're marrow farmers? I don't like this idea at all. Oh, that's probably important. The boss had special skulls. Some kind of implant. It's hard to tell where the bone ends and the tech begins. It's a little it's not. I don't know how hard that is to tell. I feel like there's a clue you can sift out of there. The part that's not a bone.
It's always pleasant to gaze on fresh eyes and a complete face. I'm old Antiona, a maiden of the Boneyard. It has been an age since we spoke to someone new.
Well, I hope I don't disappoint you.
Such a fine and polite young man you are. I bet all the ladies love you. Let me rustle you up some marrow sandwiches. Would you like some tea?
No thanks. But thank you for the offer. Your sister's in the kettle. They asked me to bring you a message.
They may be our sisters by serial number, but they are not our sisters by heart. We left them what seems like ages ago. Maidens were engineered to farm. We farmed for an eternity. Some of us grew tired of farming. We followed Lebanon. They chose to stay with Grave. We have work to do, dear. It's time for you to be off.
Oh boy. I don't think they want to go back. But also, I kind of thought the farmer maidens from earlier were human. And these guys are clearly not. And that seems to be revealing that the other ones weren't human either. We may be alike in serial number. See, the other ones also had a serial number. Ooh. Look at these giant fossils everywhere. This place used to be a museum or something? There's nothing but dust left to worship in this empty church. Bone mill. Beneath the windmill, marrow is finely ground. Why are they farming bone marrow? Do they need any materials like that? Aren't they all machines? I'm not sure about the rules here.
Grave? No. You are not Grave. My Fuabu. Unless our talks. No. I only have the bones. The bones are watching us.
I can't hear anything.
Yes, yes. The bones in the ground. They're whispering to me. And they don't like you.
What are the bones saying?
They whisper about a better time. A time before you arrived.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They do not care for your apologies. They have died 1,000,000 times and they will die 1,000,000 more. You are a stranger here. You do not belong.
I'm Mark Leslie. See? Now we aren't strangers. What's your name?
My name? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I spoke to anybody. The bones tell me my name is Lebanon, partner to Grave, my Fuabu. I came here a very long time ago, left Grave in the kettle. I came to help. All I found was death and decomposing flesh. Now all that remains are whispering bones.
Lebanon. I know who you are. What is this place?
My boneyard.
What are you doing to these graves?
Tending to the dead. My maidens toil endlessly in the harsh soil. They harvest and farm the marrow of the oldest osseous matter.
They farm marrow.
In this scorched world,
There are no power cell replacements. We use the extracted matter as a biofuel.
Whose bones are they?
These are the remains of the great people of Bars.
Bone marrow as a biofuel. What is the... I'm wondering about the Google search history of the game's writers. How do you even land on that?
Now, I've heard about the boss, but I want to know more.
Bars was once a great civilization. It stretched from the east coast to the west. The Bars were great academics, and they possessed advanced knowledge of robotics, weapons, and medicine. They said they knew the true nature of the Penrose. They waged a war against the priests of Tribulation and Babel. A war they eventually lost. Listen, the bones rattle in the wind.
Where can I find out more about the boss?
The boss are long dead, but there is one who could help you. Kush knows everything about the Empire. I have activated him inside the glossolalia. Perhaps the bones are wrong about your destiny. Perhaps not.
The knowledge hologram is online. I've activated him inside the glossolalia. Is that this place? Because I don't think I know what that is. Okay, cool, it's here. I was like, where the fuck's the glossolalia? If I were the developer, I would hide an item over here. In this dead end. I guess they didn't. This grim store is stocked with the marrow mined from the core of ancient bones. So they because they don't have fuel cells, they endlessly mine marrow to keep themselves alive. There's a metaphor here about fossil fuels or something, isn't there? And how their source is, unless they're incredibly efficient, their source is bound to run out.
Oh, smells like our old school library.
They're gonna need new corpses. What if they start capturing and farming humans, like some other groups have been doing?
Careful, Marky. Don't fall.
A simple wooden bench strewn with open manuscripts. That's probably our knowledge hologram. The floor drops away into darkness.
Oh, this is kind of cool.
The stone figures have hunched backs, small heads, long sinewy arms, and long fingers. Oh, this statue right here. That's creepy. Endless Loop by David R. Teach Your Human to Be Confident by Javier Dario Martin. Teach Your Human to Be Confident? Outwitting Organics and Other Vermin by Michael Hartman. Natural Bust Enlargement for Mechanical Folk by Eric the Kitsune Valentine. Natural enlargement for mechanical people. What the fuck does that even mean? Knitted 100-Year War Generals. Pillow patterns included by Michael of the Geary. Does God Ever Speak Through Kitchen Appliances? By Dragon Zero. Refusing Graves and Other Fun Activities, or Reusing Graves and Other Fun Activities by the Jabberwocky. How to Defend Yourself Against Bass Rectal Probes by Batty Bruce. Shelves of thick, moldering books, their pages filled with indecipherable symbols. Well, these are distressing. Big Metal Booty, A Kid's Tale. Written by Daniel Hamilton. Grandpa, Why Do You Scream at Night? By Donald Hopkins and Ignis Forster. Robotic Lust, unrated. Triple X, illustrated by My Kill Valiant. Agnate Monthly and Why I Fell in Love with a Robot by Eric Monte Calvo Graveson. Looks like it looks and feels like a house of worship. But who's hearing the prayers? Manly Hygiene Products, A Guide to Thinking Like Human Scum by Anthony Ryan Peterlin. Septic Tank Engineering by Chelsea Bean. Easter Eggs by Drone6541. That's probably a reference. A Passion for Rust by Tim Duffman Duff. I definitely get Kickstarter backer vibes from these names. Like, you get to write a joke title for a book. Part of the ceiling's fallen in, burying books in the debris. I go that way? I can.
Detecting a huge energy surge close by.
We're all going to die in here. The benches are stained with faded ink.
Welcome, Overseer. I am Knowledge Slave Kush. I stand in awe of you, great Bars.
Go on.
Kush must humbly warn you that it is no longer able to connect to the central data center, and as such, insight is limited to local object scanning only.
What exactly do you do, Kush?
As you well know, Kush provides valuable information and feedback on items and artifacts. To whom is Kush addressing these reports?
A knowledge slave. He looks like the other knowledge slave too. But that one was an organic creature being tortured. This one's a hologram. So less distressing, I suppose. But which came first? Did the Bass Society constantly have knowledge slaves in it that they punished? Does that make the Clone Coliseum a spin-off of Bass Society, like a remnant of that? That's gone perverted? Did they first have knowledge slaves that were people, and this hologram is based on those people? Or did they first have these holograms, and that one particular clone center decided to create a real one because it didn't have any holograms, and that's why that one poor clone is like fixed into place forever?
Call me Mark.
Kush is taken back by your informality, Mark. It is odd that a Bars would identify themselves by a single name. Your soft-spoken tone and gentle demeanor are most surprising. It is not often that Kush speaks to a female boss.
Apparently the boss are old dicks.
Please help me with some information.
Kush requires discipline, but your small, soft-spoken words are obviously not equipped to provide the rigorous chastisement Kush requires. Kush is not impressed with your feeble linguistics and pathetic vocal consummation. Interestingly, your poor performance has allowed BR-12 to dwell on other tasks and has retrieved fragmented historical data from temporary memory.
Please tell me what you found.
The Glossolalia serves as a central knowledge hub for the Bars Empire. Scribes were genetically engineered to transcribe the vast history of Bars. An age of enlightenment considered this slavery, and it was sadly outlawed. As such, virtual knowledge slaves were created in the image of those scribes. Kush is part of a matrix of 99, who meticulously catalogue and cross-reference the past and present. Ancient technology is examined and catalogued. Temporary memory is now released. Gently place your item into the scanner, and Kush will vigorously provide feedback.
What? So apparently the boss were such dicks, even their AIs are dicks, and they're like patronizing and like condescending to anyone who's not a dick to them, because they're like off-put by the very idea. Like you have to like insult and threaten them or something in order to get anything done. I guess the skull?
Begin scan. Very interesting. On second thought, it's garbage. Kush would like to confirm that your inferiority complex is fully justified. Scan complete.
This is kind of a great character. Oh my goodness. Your inferiority complex is fully justified. You fix him?
Begin scan. This is beyond astonishing. On second thought, it's garbage. Kush wishes that it had been gifted with the middle finger. End scan.
Huh.
Begin scan. Kush is astounded, but Kush is disgusted that you would place this dirty thing anywhere near the sensor equipment. If only closed minds came with closed mouths. Has Kush made this joke before? End scan.
If only closed minds came with closed mouths. Alright, well he's got a cycle of insults to run through. What would I want to scan?
Begin scan. Finally, something with technological value. Kush humbly requests 5 minutes alone with this cube and its intricate circuitry.
Go ahead if you think it'll help you.
Kush is disgusted by your pithy responses. You are weak and passive and should be thrown from the glossolalia walls.
I'm just trying to help. I'll get on with the scan.
Kush has only ever seen this technological footprint once before. Lebanon provided Kush with a device for analysis. Kush advised the agnate how to activate it. Lebanon integrated his own power core with the device and was able to activate it for a brief second. That second was enough to transform the bone-dry courtyard into a beautiful garden. Lebanon would visit this paradise alone. Always in secret, his power drained to a few ticks above zero. One day, he could not move to visit it, unable to walk, unable to command, unable to live. His petrified hulk remains tied to the dirt. His head the only thing that retained some power. Lebanon commanded that the entrance to the garden be blocked and the device secured, so that he would never again succumb to its temptation.
So where's the entrance?
Inside this very structure, a few paces to the north. End scan!
A few paces north. Hello. Ah. All that to find out there's a door right here. I guess I could have guessed that.